Welcome. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? This is Jimmy here with my buddy Bobby White on our very first Bigfoot Force Giants podcast. How you doing tonight, Bobby?
Oh, I'm good. How are you, Jim?
I'm doing fantastic, man. How long have we talked about doing this? How
Um,
long?
since the Bigfoot guys, so it's been at
It's
least
been a
five
bit,
years.
right?
It's been
It's been
about
a
five
bit, and we've
years.
just
Yeah.
been so many things that's held us up. Life, just pulling the trigger. I'll be honest with you. The thing that kept me from doing it in the first place is I got addicted to watching Bigfoot Odyssey and seeing Carrie Arnold. Why the heck would I want to start podcasting when I would be spending all my time watching Carrie and actually getting out in the woods with him and hanging out with him when he was here? Um, we had been talking about doing this for a long time, and we finally decided to pull the trigger. And our very first guest tonight was somebody that I have spoke with to a few times, seen a lot of his work, and have been impressed every single time with his work. And he has brought out the imaging and the stabilization for the Patty film, for the Freeman footage. He's got the fence walker, the fence jumper. I forgot exactly what he dubs it. He will correct all my mistakes on this when he comes in. Uh, and there's a big red giant huge barn where these two bust out and have a scuffle and run off and come back and carry on and whatnot. And I'm just really excited to have MK on. So
Yeah, that
you know,
that that one at
without
the barn,
taking up
one of
too
my
much
favorite
time
things.
for us to get acquainted, because you and I know everybody. You and I know each other pretty well. So we'll go ahead and just bring MK out and let MK tell a little bit about himself. MK,
Hello.
how you doing, bud?
All right. Glad to be here.
Oh, we are glad to have you. How's things been?
I've been pretty good.
Been pretty
You know,
good.
it's I'm getting a little older and got a few aches and pains and stuff, but I mean, I'm still here.
I saw your bruised up toe, man. It does not look like it feels very good.
No, it was a kind of a freak accident. My dog is he was diagnosed with cancer,
I'm sorry to hear
and
that.
yeah, but the vet said that some of his symptoms are also symptoms you would find with what you call it fungus, certain types of fungal infections. So he said we're going to treat that anyway, and just in case that might be that. So I'm treating him for two different things at the same time. But he's got weak legs, and he can't quite hold them together on a slick surface. He's a long-legged dog, and he sat down on my toes with his tailbone,
Oh,
and it was like hitting him with a hammer. He weighs 70 pounds.
crushed
Uh,
it. Just crushed it.
yeah, so a lot of people accuse me of kicking. You must have kicked this or kicked that. I didn't kick anything. I just got bammed.
Yeah, my dad's in his early 80s, and he gets beat up pretty easy. Just putting the socks on leaves a bruise. So I understand all that. Um, you also do something really big, really quick before we get started with the things you're going to bring to us. You have this really cool critter cam you got going on in the back. Tell everybody about that a little bit. I think that's really interesting, where you get to see a lot of the wildlife. You got some coyotes back there and bobcats, raccoons, some stray cats. It's really cool stuff you got there. I think everybody should do that just to see how nature is when people aren't around.
Well, the nighttime, we own the daytime, but at nighttime, it doesn't belong to us.
Right.
There's all kinds of things goes on at night that we don't know anything about, and we only get these little peephole visits with our cameras, our game cams, and they give us some idea. But I've seen some super interesting things. I've got it on an old game trail from years ago. The animals still walk that trail no matter what has happened in the intervening years. I realized that when I went to Packwood, Washington, and the Roosevelt elk, were following their old migration patterns, and it took them right through the middle of town. And they were all up in people's garages and carports, and I mean everywhere. they did never check up. They followed that same old game trail from days of yore, and I realized that this old game trail that's close to me was probably going to be the same way. So I bought a game cam and set it out. Somebody gave me one at first, and then I wanted to improve and I bought my own, and I was just amazed at what was coming down that trail, and it's some things that are absolutely, I mean, just catch you by surprise. It'll shock you. Uh, I got one thing I call it a chupacabra. I don't know what it is. It's got a long snout like it looks like a warthog. You know, a long thing, and it's
Yeah.
running like a warthog. I never saw it again. I just saw it once, and these really large giant. I say giant. They're coyotes, but it's a subspecies that's bigger.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and I got some of those on there, and I got this bobcat that's really huge. The
Is that the one that we were kind
well,
of wondering what is that?
I've gotten two bobcats, one recently and one about 2 years ago. And the one 2 years ago looked like it was maybe a little larger than even that latest one, but it it
Yeah.
it looked like it had the appearance that it didn't have any spots on it. You know, and the bobcats around here are not real big, and they're
Right.
covered in spots. And this one had hardly any spots. He was tawny, you know,
Hmm.
like a cougar would be, and
Right.
very muscular.
Right.
And you know, when he
A
walked,
little prehistoric looking.
yeah, he looked like a, what do you call those things? A saber
Little
tooth.
saber tooth. Yeah.
Yeah,
He he
No
was he was
saber-toothed
built
tiger
different.
without a tail.
yeah. Well,
He was built
saber tooth
different.
don't have tails.
I
They're
didn't realize that.
yeah, they were. He looks like a giant bobcat with a big fangs.
Yeah.
Uh, I forgot the. I'm trying to think of the scientific name for it. Something therium, homotherium, homotherium. That's a saber tooth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, it's got a little old tail about that long. You know,
Yeah, I didn't realize saber-tooths didn't have a tail.
yeah,
But I have a big old bobcat that lives here on my property too, and he comes up to probably the top of my knee.
that's
Um,
big.
He's a
yeah,
big
he's a
one.
big old bobcat.
Yeah. Has he been getting your chickens?
No, he's never
Yeah.
gotten my chickens,
Well,
but
you got that thing built
I
like
know
a
where he
fort too.
lives, and like when we go fishing, we throw all of our scraps back there. So
Yeah.
Well, this one never ate out of the pan. He looked over in it, but he was not interested in. I was putting some little gravy train in there, and he was not interested in that at all. He
I
was
thought
Yeah.
you were up to something.
just just passing through.
Yeah.
I had a little red fox come by, and he comes into the field of view trotting, trot, 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 trot. And he goes over to that pan, and he
Yeah.
looks down in it, and then he places his rear end over it and craps right
I
into.
remember seeing
Then he
he crapped right in the food
then he
dish.
takes off,
Yeah.
takes off
It
like,
was
like a
hilarious.
drive by.
Yeah. A crap and
Amazing
run.
stuff.
Yeah. I think just being able to see nature when you're not around and actually how they are when we're not around is a pretty cool thing, and that's why I kind of like watching some of your videos, all of your videos, when they're up like that. Um, so what kind of got you into this whole finding the big hairy guy thing? Um, was Patterson Gimlin what kicked off your fascination, or did you have an experience of your own that put you down this road?
No, actually I was doing astrophotography at the time. Something that's diametrically opposite. Uh, and in the process of doing astrophotography, you learn a little bit about film. And this was back before digital, and so I had acquired a little knowledge base on films and stuff. And one day, right after the internet came into being, you know how the internet is. It kind of just becomes a repository. People leak stuff out onto it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't stop it; it just goes. And somebody had leaked out this wonderful image off the Patterson film. It had been filtered to boost the contrast, but it came from the original film, and it made all the difference in the world. And I saw that thing, and I said, "Well, somebody's been using astrophotography techniques to try to get to the bottom of this." I said, "Well, if I could find uh, the rest of the film from that copy," I said that film would tell its own story. If it was a hoax, you should be able to see the zipper. If it were the real thing, you should be able to tell that also. So I just began an inquiry. I found some people to ask questions, and I asked about the original film, and they said, "Well, I think the original film's over here," and I would email that person, and it just uh, it just kind of took a life of its own, and I began to acquire these images. I made a trip to Oregon and gave a little presentation there to the Western Bigfoot Society, and met a man from Canada. Man, he was close to the people that owned the film or had the film, and he was able to get me really good copies. That and he emailed me and says, you were right. This film, these copies here, survive an enlargement much better, than these lower grade copies do.
Right.
And it's so it just kind of took a life of its own, and is still going to this day. I'm still in pursuit of the very best. Some I've got about 5 or 6 frames that came off the original film that was in the camera, uh, and then I've got some that come off a first gen copy. Ultimately, I have the whole entire film digitized. I kept a copy of the film for 2 years, and then I returned it, but I scanned it all. So some of the copies have different strengths and different weaknesses. Some of them have better color. Others have better clarity. You know,
Yeah.
each time you put a film through a lens, you got lensing defects. Some
Right.
of that can be filtered out, improved. So I just tried to build up my skills, build up my base. I wanted the film to tell its own story without you could look at it and tell when you looked at it exactly what it was.
Right.
And I think that it's very close to that now.
Yeah.
It's not far if to some people they don't have to look beyond that. You can see muscles and stuff moving. Biomechanics, the things that you see every day in life. When you see
Yeah.
someone, take a dive off a diving board, you see their muscles and stuff in there. They, their scapulas, come together. You see that on that film.
Yeah. You see a ripple.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a living thing.
Yeah.
So you got some of. Am I correct by saying that you got some of your films scanned or copied from Mrs. Patterson herself? Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
And so
Uh,
basically, that was the source, straight to the source, just about, right?
Yeah, yeah, she was just a nice lady, and she was
Yeah.
very cooperative. And she, uh, she's unsure herself. She's not an expert on film by any means. And she says, "Well, let me get this shoebox down out of the closet." She went up and got up on a chair, fished that thing down, brought it over there, and she says, "Well, here's just some of Roger's stuff." And she pulled an envelope out of it, and the envelope hung on to these transparencies and lifted them out with it, and they just tumbled onto the floor, and they're 4 by 5 inch, made from the original film. And she said, "Oh, those are Rogers negatives." And I says, "No, ma'am, these aren't negatives. These are positives. These are right off the film, ready to project. And I held it up to the light, and gosh, it was just incredible.
Yeah.
Uh, I can't tell you how it made me feel for having, took that stand years ago that the film was better than people thought. You know, people they'd always tell you what its limitations were, but when it exceeded the limitations, they would say, "Well, no, it can't do that." I don't believe that. It says right here in this book that something this tall on this big of film, and it can't be enlarged any more than this. And that what the question they were asking the wrong question. They should, instead of saying it can't be, they should have been saying, why has it been? Why is it doing that? There must be something inaccurate about the information on this film, because they said that 120 feet is what 1.8 millimeter tall. Well, at what point in the film is it 1.8 millimeter? Because it changes sizes as it moves away.
Get
You know,
smaller.
you can watch it. It fills
Yeah.
the whole screen up over here, and then when you go down this way, it's way off in the distance. You see, it none of it made any sense to me. And I say, well, you have to just go with what it's giving you. You take what it gives you, and then you go try to find out why it's giving you so much. You know, ultimately it's inaccurate information, and you can't fault them for that. They weren't experts on anything either.
Right.
They didn't
Well,
think that it would matter.
how do you feel about showing us some of what it gave you?
Oh, I
So,
wouldn't mind it a bit.
that'd be great.
Yeah. What would you like to see?
Show us some of the best stuff you got. You've got some stuff on there that I've seen that very few people have seen that are just kind of mind blowing when you think that Patty was just out there strolling across the sandbars by herself. And you got some images and movement that says she wasn't by herself. You know, um, but your stabilization of Patty is just like next level. It's second to none.
Well, let me see here. I can show you a track. Uh, Not a lot of people know that you can see tracks on the film. Let me see here. Where did I put that? I think it's on this drive. Uh,
MK, I'm gonna try to put you so you're gonna be full screen, so you have most of the screen here. Nope, that ain't it.
Now you got to put
Right there.
I have a question for you, MK. I saw a video a couple of years ago, and somebody claimed it was like the first few seconds of the PG film. And you could see it seemed to be another Sasquatch step back into the trees right before Patty came into view. Have you ever seen that?
Straight off in the distance, past Patty.
Yeah. It's like it was right at the very beginning. You could see something step into the trees, and then Patty came into view over here. I don't know if it was authentic or if you've ever seen it or had any
oh yeah,
information
yeah.
about it
I have seen it.
because
I
I
have
haven't
seen
been able to find that since the day I saw it.
it. Okay, here. I don't know if you can. I have to present this, don't I?
Absolutely, go for it.
All right. Let's see. Entire screen. Okay. Now what do I do? Also share system audio. Hmm. Share. All right. Can you see?
Not yet.
It
I
says
see
I'm
you.
sharing. It says I'm sharing. Okay. Well, let me go back over here. Right here. Now this is from a paper image, what they call a platen image, that Roger Patterson was selling at his live events, and of course, down through the years, the paper has yellowed. But you can still correct for that, and the dyes are still very much the original color. The Put it in my program here. This may kind of typify some of the things that I've done. They're just more or less just work. You know, you just look it over, and you try to say, well, are there tracks showing in the film? Well, there are tracks, and I'll show you. All right.
Yeah, I see.
I see it now. Yeah,
Yep.
I totally see it.
Yep.
That's amazing. That's a really good track, MK.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's a really, really good track.
The
It
only
looks like
thing about
some
it,
weight behind it.
the mystery behind these tracks right here is that they're crossed. The right tracks on the left side and the left
Right.
tracks on the right side. And we don't know how that came to be, but there it is.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, it's definitely there.
it's there are tracks showing, and I believe this to be a half track right here, uh, where it just puts its ball of its foot down, uh, which I actually have a frame showing the foot in that, so I feel pretty sure that's what that is.
Yeah, it
And
really brought out the shadow in there. There was like no shadow to you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really clear, definite track. I've
that's
never
Too.
seen that before.
that's a Bigfoot's track, no
Yeah.
question about that. But that's in Bigfoot country, and there's a Bigfoot on the on the film right beside
Right.
it.
Right.
So it shouldn't be too surprising. Uh, but that's kind of the kind of thing that I have spent my time doing. Scrutinizing it and trying to get all the information from it, which is it's full of it, full of information.
Yeah. You can even see green in there behind Patty, like on some of the foliage.
Yeah, you can
It's in the foreground of her.
watch. You can go like this. Hold on, and you can kind of counter that some of that faded.
Yeah. Really brings out some things.
Let's see here. And sometimes you have to overexpose the sand to get the stuff around Patty to a high enough level to see well. Those trees back there, I heard a video. There's a video on YouTube right now where it's about the guy claiming to see a second Sasquatch, and he calls that thing a sycamore tree, I believe. Well, it's not a sycamore tree. The trees down there, they go from aspen to alders to birch. Those that are in the bed of the creek like that with the
Yeah.
kind of white and black. Uh, and then when you get on over there to the hillside over there, you get to be fir trees and cedars. The redwoods are just about gone from that area. They harvested them and they replanted with firs. But if you work with this, you can get it back to its true colors. Let's see here. There you go. That's working a little bit.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Yeah.
And,
You
and,
see
and
that?
it's amazingly clear just by enhancing the colors. It gets pretty amazingly clear.
To get the sandbar itself to show better, she darkens down a little bit.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
no perfect balance on the photo. So you can find what you like it the most. But if you're looking for something like tracks, you just kind of ignore the rest and let those tracks contrast come up on those tracks. It's a it's a heck of a piece of film.
Yeah.
It's historic and it is absolutely one of the most important pieces of footage ever taken.
Yeah, I think there's some people out there that say once you start messing with contrasting, you start messing with the sharpness and the brightness and the coloring and whatnot, you basically got to just throw the whole thing out because now you've contaminated it or whatever. But that's just nonsense to me. Um, when you're trying to bring out the clarity, you're not um, you're not messing with the raw footage that you have. You're bringing it out. You're showing what's hidden because of um, you know the grade that it is.
But I just don't think
You're
that
just enhancing what's already there. You're not adding to it. You're just pulling it out.
people
That's just
don't
my opinion.
realize that before digital, the films themselves had characteristics like they had films that are green sensitive, that the greens come out first
Yeah,
and dominate, or the blue sensitive films. And when I was doing astrophotography, you had to select your film type according to your target, like the Great Nebula in Orion. I think it's M41. It it
yeah,
has the red glow of hydrogen in it, but it also has the green glow of doubly ionized oxygen. And if you want that oxygen to show, you have to get a green sensitive film so that you can get balance. It comes out unbalanced if you don't.
right.
So it's a photograph is a rendering of reality. It's you still have to be a photographer. You have to, in order to get the reality as good as it can get, you have to select your films, select your lenses, all of that type of thing to get a good photo that somebody can look at and it means something.
Yeah,
So just the fact that you're doing it with digital is irrelevant.
yeah,
You're still trying to get the very best photo and from that film. And like I said, some colors dominate; they predominate, and you may want to tone them down some so they don't just drown out everything in the picture.
yeah,
And then you kind of pump up a little bit on the others so that it becomes comes to the center. And that's color. And then you got your others. You got some sharpness that you can work with. You got filtering, which filtering helps an awful lot. If you can boost the resolution 1%, you'll see 10 new things forensically.
yeah,
And that's significant when you're talking about a film of this nature. It's a threshold film, and so you move that threshold over on up. and you're starting to see things. They begin to pop, and it become less disputable. If you just barely see something, you're straining. You know, well, yeah, this could be anything. The old versions of the film, it was just a black silhouette. Patty was just a black silhouette, and
Yeah, all that stuff.
yeah,
I'm sorry, all that stuff. I'm
go ahead.
sorry, Ken. And I was just saying, all that stuff that you're talking about. My goodness, that is way over my head.
Well,
I,
I think I can show you. Let me see if I can find it.
you're up there, and I'm down here at the Etch a Sketch, where you got to shake it when you want to redo a picture.
Let's see here if I can find this. Uh-oh. Whoa. I'm trying to work around my tripod. There we go. No, still.
There you go.
It's still. I'll get it. There we go. And just see what it does. I'm looking for a particular photo. And this photo came from John Green's book on the track of Sasquatch.
I'm gonna go ahead and just put it out there. No disrespect, but for an older guy, you are pretty savvy when it comes to a computer.
Well, in certain
15
ways,
minutes. I spent 15 minutes trying to turn on my laptop.
Only in certain ways, though. If I get outside of my bubble, then it changes.
I got you. So you know everything's at. You got it down.
Let me see if I don't know what I named. I can't go around that tripod too well.
And there's some good pictures of Patty.
There's Patty's foot bottom, blurred and filtered. Some of these are. I have to go back because I got a new computer and the computer don't pull them all the way up. These icons here, when they don't fill in, I can't bring them up. You see the toes and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yes, you
Yeah.
can. You can see the shadow too. They don't look like a suit.
No.
Let's see.
She got some Fred Flintstone feet.
Pretty good sized feet.
Yeah.
Some people accuse me of having Sasquatch feet.
Only when they get bruised and beat up. They look like something from the wild.
This is a full size Patty. That was on a poster I did. I've had it printed out at Kinko's. It was all on photographic paper too. It's got that little blue tint to it.
Yeah.
That's from the Cibachrome prints that Bruce Bonney made. He made them off the original. You should read what Bruce Bonney had to say about it. Oh man, that I tried to tell people. Well, I tell you, I can probably just find that one. Maybe I can. Let's see, Bruce Bonney.
How many places have you gone, MK, to do your research on the PG film? I mean, you've gone all over the United States. You've been to Canada too, right?
Yeah, I haven't been to Canada.
No?
I haven't. No, I've just been to the United States. But pretty much all of it. Let's see here. This is what you have to do to make this computer recognize the photo. Now, it's Bruce Bonney. This is what he wrote about it. And he got into an argument with a guy named Eric Beckert. I don't know if you've heard of him.
No, I have not.
Yeah. Eric Beckert was how you say, a radical fella. He
Yeah.
claimed to see a baby on the back of of Patty. And Bruce Bonney wrote this about it. In January 1980, I participated in the first program to produce high quality color photographs from the original Patterson Gimlin film. The original 16 millimeter Kodachrome 2 film was first enlarged and printed on 4 by 5-inch Kodak Ektachrome duplicating film 6121. These 4 by 5-inch color transparencies, recognize that? Because that's what
Yep.
I got from
This
Yeah,
Miss
is
yeah, yeah.
Patterson. Yep.
were then contact printed on Ilford Chrome A color print material, the sharpest color printing paper available. This printing sequence resulted in the sharpest and clearest color prints ever made of the best frames of the film, having the highest resolution and the greatest color fidelity yet produced. For the first time, we have prints which clearly show the creature's face with eyes, nostrils, and lips. The maximum limit of anatomical resolution in the three sharpest Chrome prints is about 1 centimeter, meaning that details of the creature's body larger than 1 square centimeter in area are visible in the prints and are capable of basic identification. Now, this is the man that knows his business. He's
He
not
sounds like it.
he's not a big footer. He actually, him and his wife worked for Texas A&M Commerce University, back when it was named that. My daughter went to school out there, uh, and he was employed by Renee DeHenden to do this work. And I can show you some of the results. Let me get out of here. Let me go to.
I like the follow up line where he said, so basically, I'm paraphrasing. So if somebody saw a baby on mama creature, it had to be smaller than 1 cubic centimeter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
These are some of the Chrome prints. We just flip through them. Some of them I have done a little work on, to sharpen them up some more.
Right.
Let me. Usually I get a little arrow that I can just proceed on, but I didn't do it that time. There we go. There you see the tendons in the knee pit.
Yeah.
That's not a suit.
Right. Big old calf muscles.
And
It's most certainly not a suit from that time period.
Yeah.
There's one image where she is walking away and you can see straight on her back, across the shoulder, like straight on a full back view. She just looks like she's the size of a refrigerator.
You see this image right here? That's from Siberia, over what do you call that country over there? The Altai over there in Russia.
No clue.
No idea.
Igor Bortsev sent this to me. Some people took pictures of it as it walked by. It jumped out behind the bushes and ran to another tree, and they took some. This is the foot, the leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I immediately, compared it to the Patterson film. to see if there was anything it would tell.
Similarities. Yeah.
Yeah. And very, very similar looking. The calf
Yeah.
is just really
They're
large.
absolutely similar looking.
Yeah. I told Igor, I said, don't just write this off. There's nothing telling me to write it off.
Right.
You know, uh, I'm going through the same thing again. And look at that, boy, that's pretty good there. You can
Yeah.
see this hairstyle right here, pretty good when that sun hit it just right. It's got kind of
Almost.
a ponytail, like pull back behind it, and it's got side hair as well.
It looks like you can see the nose, the lips, and the chin as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that what I'm
maybe
seeing?
that might be, but I think it might be just the edge of the hair. See, the hair is kind of
Okay.
long right in here.
Yeah, it
Uh,
looks like she's almost turning over her right shoulder just a smidgel is what it looked like. But it could have been shadow.
these are the zebra chrome prints, and I mean they're really good. You see scars on the back of the leg. See where
Yeah.
where
Mhm.
you can walk barefooted, you're gonna get scars.
And Patty was more brown, right? Brownish
Yeah,
red,
you
not
see
black.
she's blue in the zebra chrome prints, and
Yeah.
there's a reason for that, but I don't want to get into that right now. I corrected for it, so you see it.
Yeah.
You see where she's worn the hair off her leg.
Yeah, from the
Uh-huh.
arm swing.
It comes raking by there like that. Over time, you can see the muscles through the little bit of hair that's left. She's not furry. She's just haired over.
Right.
You know, it's not keeping her warm.
It's her clothes.
See, I got to go back over these. But that's what happens when you change computers. But I had no choice. My other one went out.
You had a lot of stuff too. How much was that? How hard was that to recover all that?
Well, I had it on external drives.
Oh, good for you.
I did
Because I would
lose an
never recover
external
that.
drive a while back, and that really hurt my feelings. You just, I wish, my goodness, I wish I had replaced the drive. You can see that muscle right there.
Hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. Natural biomechanics.
That almost looked like a herniated muscle, kind of
Maybe
knotted up.
this see high quality zebra chrome prints were added into this, and it just brings the average up.
So when it stops, those are actually the prints from like the negatives that you got from Mrs. Patterson.
No, they are the zebra chrome prints from Bruce Bonney.
Okay. Okay.
I can show you those. I've got them in the raw form, and I've got them in the correct color corrected form. Uh, the 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 plastic in the transmission images tends to fade toward red,
Hmm.
so you have to correct for that. The dyes are all in great shape. You can see that her neck moves pretty good.
Yeah.
Now I did some
That don't look like Hieronymus. It just doesn't.
No.
I did some presentations there for at Honobia, Oklahoma, for
Yeah.
several years, and I got a lot of Patterson stuff. Uh, should be right in this on this hard drive. Hold on, let me just let me go to 2018 on a Saturday program. All right, Now, this is a new process that I kind of came up with myself, where was able to slow the frames down without getting any flicker. And it's not using any AI or anything like that. It's using just nothing but the film itself. See how smooth it is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can see the muscle in the leg bounce when that
Oh, yeah,
front
it
leg
does.
hits. You can see the muscle bounce.
This is really slow here. She's got so much reflectivity and refractivity in her hair that when she passes, the sun actually flashes off the
Mhm.
side of the leg. It's a most amazing thing.
Yeah, right there. When that right leg hits the ground, you can just see the muscles shaking in there.
Yeah. And it looks
N-
heavy.
no way that was duplicated with the suit back then. It just wasn't possible.
Uh,
That would be. I don't know that they could duplicate that today with that type of muscle movement. I don't think they can do it. I mean, they can do it with CGI, but
Yeah.
um, that wasn't even a thought back then.
It would take
see if
gel implants for muscles, and then the hair would have to be stabbed into it, and just
Yeah,
a
put
lot
in
of
individually.
yeah.
I'm gonna go back to my desktop here just a minute. I can go down here. I'll show you this. Well, I thought I could. Well, darn. Let me go back over here to Hanovia from here. Let's see. D.
MK, did you ever find or get close to the location of the siege of Zenobia?
I don't know if I ever actually went there. I went out in the areas around where Hanovia itself was.
I got you.
Okay, I want to show you where the light reflects off that leg. Let me let me just let it run first, and maybe I can see exactly where it is.
Right there on the
See it
yeah,
flash.
Yeah,
Let me go back to it.
right in the upper thigh.
See it right there. It starts to do it there. Let me go forward now. See it?
Hmm.
yeah.
It's the sun. The sun hits it and just glistens. It's got a refracting quality to it.
Think it has a lot to do with a lot of oil on her hair.
I don't think it's oil. I think it's
No,
I think it. I've taken a look at some hairs that I was pretty sure was Bigfoot hairs, and it has they're clear.
clear tint. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's kind of like it doesn't have a medulla in the middle. That little centerpiece.
right.
So it's like a little piece of glass.
Yeah, almost like a fishing line look.
There's your little injury right
Right.
there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It kind of looks like a
Bill Munn says it's just a film anomaly, but you see it's got a shadow underneath.
yeah, it's a
Hmm.
lump.
Yeah, it's actually there. She has the problem.
Yeah, like I said, kind of looks like a herniated muscle or something
It
bulging right there.
popped up there for a second there.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the leg straightens out, the lump kind of goes away.
See, you still see that flash.
Yeah.
It's really shiny, glistening hair. You can see it on the top of the head when she turns her head, same way.
Hmm.
It, very, very. Bob Gimlin told me that she had hair like that of an Indian, and Bob's half Indian, so
Yeah.
he would know.
Hey, MK, would you mind showing that image of the shadow movement behind that stump or big rock?
Yeah, let me see what if I can remember what I named it. Uh, let's see here.
Because that's a baby to me. Um, it's a live something behind that rock, and I just don't know why that's just not talked about.
I might have it here. I don't know. Let me go and find it through another way over here. Behind the stump. How about that?
That's easy to
Here
remember.
here we go. That would be that right over here. See
Yep,
it?
a head like a head popping up. The shadow to the right of that stump
Yeah,
moves.
A
yeah,
little bit
something
right
pops up
there.
right up
Yeah,
top.
yeah, that's movement on the side and the top. I don't think that's an anomaly. Shadows
Let
just
me,
don't appear and disappear in between frames.
I looked at that at length. I pretty much scrutinized
It,
everything about this.
it even looks like a conical head that pops up
Yep.
on top of the stump. It's cone shaped. You can see it.
Yeah.
It is something. It's not nothing.
No, no, it's not nothing. There's something
It's.
there.
I mean, we could say it's not a deer. We can say it's not a raccoon. I doubt it's. I mean, what a bear cub? But where's Mama? Um, yeah, there's movement
You
there,
see it
man.
over here on the side too.
On the
See?
side too, like an
Yeah,
arm, like a hand is grabbing and
yeah.
it's pulling itself up. Yeah,
It don't quite fit behind that stump.
right. It's a little bitty.
Well,
That's
that there
just
don't isn't that it? Don't that kind of appeal to your thinking?
yeah.
You know, to fill
She's
in
a
that gap to tell you what it is, because it sure looks like it could be a little one.
yeah.
Hmm.
That's what it looks like. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. I mean, it looks like a peekaboo. What's going on? Um,
She's coming by and look, she's rubbing her foot on that stick. She
Yeah, and you see an arm popping out to the right of the stump, and then it looks like a hand pops out to the left side of the stump. The head comes
yeah,
up the top, and it's pyramid shaped. So
it does look like she drags her left foot. Is that what it looks like?
Yeah, she doesn't pick it all the way up off the ground there. She comes across and actually leaves sand on top of that stick.
Yeah,
Uh, so she changed just for a second or a step or two. She changed the way she walked
right. She
right
changed
there
her
in
locomotion.
that spot.
Everything else is clear, lifted up, off the ground.
Yeah, she for that little moment she drug her foot. And what it means to a Sasquatch, or maybe she's given a kind of a symbol or sign to some others. I don't know. Uh, we don't know anything about it at all. We can't get beyond the is it real?
Right.
Uh, we should have been beyond that a long time ago. If this same film had been taken by National Geographic, this Bigfoot would be in the books.
hmm
but because it was taken by who it was taken by, and before they ever got it into the right hands, it got into the wrong hands.
Right.
And
Money.
everybody gets greedy. They think it's their big way to money and fame. So they just embellishments begin, and I just ignored all of that, every bit of it, and just said what is on the film,
Right.
and things like this is part of it.
Do you have anything else that not many people have seen that you would be
Yeah,
willing to
let me
show that make you go, wait a second, this is something. Why haven't we seen this?
go to I called it Middler. There's no reason for it. I just thought of a name that I hadn't named anything else. Uh, Let me go to type that in. Oh, okay, you see Patty right here
Yeah.
walking away. Look behind this tree,
Yeah, there's something
Yeah.
there.
behind that brush right there.
Yeah.
You see the arm swing and the movement. It's farther away, but it sure looks like another Sasquatch there.
There's definitely movement back there.
Yeah, it's movement. There were seven Sasquatch in the group that Patty was in.
And they were all there that day, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
They
I
get-
think we've just seen 3 of them.
Right. I think so too. I think so too.
one
And
was
this,
a child. One was a child. That's what Al Hodson said. It left a little small print.
that thing behind the stump would leave a small print.
Yeah,
Um, that's why I follow you, and look at the things that you put out, because you see stuff that you're not seeing anywhere else. And it seems like it's because it takes a lot of work, and some people aren't willing to put in the work that you're putting into. And actually, I mean, it's just great that you're doing this and allowing to be just a part of it right now. So, we will take all the new stuff that you would love to share, because it just builds that, it's more than just that famous frame. All these pieces that you're showing, it fills a bigger picture, and makes you wonder, um, what else do the people that were filming know? Now, I've been following you for a bit, and I've seen your take on things, and I agree with your take on things just by the evidence that you put out. Um, with the white dog, the hunting crew, it is what it is in front of your eyes. And it's just a lot like Bigfoot. Bigfoot, for some people, is just too hard to accept into your reality. It's just easier to dismiss it, because you got to change your reality or your expectations or what you think and what you're putting out is reality. And for some people who've just seen the Patterson film for what it is, they don't want to change their reality and think that something else happened that day, and there may not be 6 or 7 Sasquatch around because of what had happened that day.
yes. The story is simplistic and sterilized. So it's inert. Two guys rode upon it, jumped off their horses, took a film, and it walked away or ran away. And it's nothing is rarely is anything ever that simple.
Right.
Bigfoot just don't come out in front of people in broad daylight. Uh, yeah, you can ask almost any person that's pursued this interest for a long time. They'll tell you.
Right.
You have to you were the luckiest individual in the world if you see one
Yeah.
in the broad daylight. But this one not only saw it, but it strolled in front of them. it's kind of sashayed out there,
Right.
uh, which Native Americans immediately said that she's got a little one there. You know, she's leading away from a little one. Well, I don't know if that's her. I can't get in her head, but it's certainly plausible. And then I found the thing moving behind the stump, and it's even more plausible.
Yeah, it's almost certain after you see that.
Yeah. Would you mind sharing us? I can't get over that fence walker, because you were in the exact spot that thing crossed, weren't you?
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah.
I spent the weekend with Sandy. Incidentally, Miss Sells has passed away. She passed away recently, and
Oh, sorry to hear that.
cancer, and so that both of them, her and her husband, are dead.
Is the land in family? Is it passed down in family, or has it been?
Yeah, I'm unsure. I think we're going to try to find out if it's not in family. They still may be approachable about coming onto it.
I got
Especially if they knew all what went on there.
you. Right. If they knew what's stepping over a 5 foot barbed wire fence, had to been 5 foot, right?
Yeah, I'm about 5'11", not 5'8".
Same
I
height as
have
me.
I have a picture of a gentleman standing beside the fence. He's 5'11", and it's almost chest high to him.
Right.
It's got 5 strands, and the last strand goes, top of the fence.
Right.
So it's somewhere between 4.5 and 5 foot.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
So if you look at the Bigfoot going down the fence line, and his back he's bent over to where it's
The 90, almost a
yeah,
90.
and it's still as high as the fence.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back, whoop, right over it. I tried to tell people that when I first, people tend to just look at something, you know, 30 seconds, and that's all they give to it. But you look at that, and you can tell it's it's performing quite a feat that's
It,
not likely. I couldn't do it. I can tell
the
you that.
agility and the speed that it does it, it's not easy to jump over a fence, a barbed wire fence, let alone that. And this thing just does it like, like it's stepping over a clothes hamper or something. It was just too smooth and effortless, and it looks so big when it's bent over. Looks like it's about the size of a cow.
It does.
That's just the raw image here. That's the raw image. You hear the noise?
Yeah.
That's guinea fowl. When this creature goes this way, then all of a sudden these guinea fowl open up and scare him, and he comes back. This is not a quick clip. This is the raw image. It's a lot more of it.
Yeah. Looked like that dog changed his mind and went back.
Yeah, he did. I saw that.
Yeah. He's like, nah, I'm out. I see some movement back
Watch
there.
this.
I
That's
see
the
that. I
white
see that.
one.
I
That's
see
that
that.
little white one. He didn't come back out, did he?
That white one's pretty huge, isn't it, MK?
Yeah, it's pretty good size.
Yeah.
I've seen it come out and walk beside this building. It's big. It's pretty far across there what we just saw.
If I remember correctly, this film was shot by pointing the camera towards the mirrors.
Not this one.
Not this one.
No, the altercation video where they fight
Coming out
Yeah.
of the
was
barn. Yeah.
yeah it was shot into a mirror.
Okay. Okay.
This one right here is straight across.
Now, that's pretty light out too. This
Yeah,
isn't nighttime.
you have to kind of watch it. I have to speed it on up because this is uh oh you ain't gonna believe this now. You probably ain't never seen this. You know what's over the camera lens?
What's that?
Uh, the guy that put this camera out told me he left a camouflage poncho laying on the ground out there, and something took it and put it over the lens.
No, geez.
It fell off.
Looks like that white one's still hanging out back there.
Yeah.
There he goes.
There he goes.
Now you can imagine watching a 6 hour tape, or I think a 6 hour, looking for this little bit of activity. It'll make your eyes want to fall out.
Currently
He
behind that
gets
tree.
back there. The guinea fowl spot him. They'll open up in a minute.
I'm trying to see if that. Oh, I
There
see
you
some
go.
movement.
Here he comes.
Yep.
Yeah, he just walks over that fence like
Yeah.
Kevin Nash
And,
climbing in a ring.
yeah, and spins and has that cone head.
Go back in here. Hold on. Hey, look at that head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very almost gorilla like.
His eyes. At times I can see the eyes glow. Some people say they can see his junk. You know when he comes up all that.
Yeah.
Down.
Getting caught on the barbed wire. This should have made a noise.
Well, I'm not sure. Well, if sometimes you let these things go, you know, you see things you hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
See that sun go down?
Yeah. I see a light in the bush.
Yeah, I see that.
So yeah, I mean that was activity that was going on during the day.
They had some. This was very gradually done. It was. I hate to use it, the term habituating.
Yeah.
I think they were more like provoking. You know, they wanted to get the Bigfoot to do something for the camera. You know, I don't think they were trying to be friends with them.
Just trying to get him on camera.
Yeah, trying to
Yeah.
get them on camera.
We've been trying that too, MK. It's not working.
It's well, it might work one day.
Yeah. Right.
You see
Got to
how
get out
much
there more than I'm out.
you see how much more of it there is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gee,
Let's see here.
you probably have
Fence
that.
climber, new enhancements. Let's view extra large. Both foot bottoms. Let's look at that. If it'll come up. Here it comes.
Hello, my name is M.K. Davis.
Oh, I didn't realize that was
I'm going to be revisiting the fence climber video again, and the reason why is because of some new software. This software has resulted in some dramatic improvements in resolution. And as they say in astronomy, if you can increase it by just 1% resolution, you'll see 10 new things. So, what you're going to see here is very labor intensive, because what I did was to take each individual frame and run it through the deblurring process. But now let's just take a look. I'm going to start this file here. I'm just going to rock it back and forth. What I want to show you, just take a look for yourself. Watch this corner right here. Remember this guy. I brightened it up quite a bit in that corner. You see, he's going back and forth. Where he was almost in total darkness, he's no longer in total darkness. And you can also kind of see what color he is pretty good. It's very uniform, kind of a grayish color. Now let's just put it right here. Now I'm going to just wiggle it back and forth. Watch his left foot, and that's what's remarkable. That's what I want to show you.
I don't know
You can actually see the foot bottom. Hey, how about that?
Well, I'm looking at when he's right there.
Right there, it's a pretty clear shot of it.
One more frame forward, MK, if you can.
It just happened to catch the light just right. But that's the foot
I'm not
bottom
doing
right
it there. It's just
I got you.
Oh.
It looks like it's quadruped. It looks like one of the arms is reaching out on the ground.
Oh yeah, it probably
They
is.
talk a lot about
It looked like it.
and I'm not sure.
I was thinking the same thing. It looked like he was
Except that this
pretty much on all fours or going to all fours.
Yeah, his left hand looked like it went
so
to the
maybe
ground.
I'll have to buy into it. At any rate,
You see his back is level.
That's a huge thing. One boost in resolution, and you get.
Let me go.
Yeah, he really looks like he's running on all fours there.
Drop it down to, yeah.
Yeah, or dropping down to go all fours.
He does a little boot scoot. See there?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See it slide?
Mm-hmm.
There's like a pivot with his ball
Yeah,
of his
yeah.
foot.
He's up on the ball of his foot, doing a little slip slide. That's amazing stuff.
And you got the picture where you were standing in that exact place.
I'll see if
Just
I
for
can find
reference.
it.
Yeah, that just looks like a big old gorilla, man.
Yeah, he looks really thick.
He's a big dude.
You know what though? They were out there trying to get to those tires. They were obsessed with those tires, and those researchers had realized that, and they had used those tires to move them around and get them to come up in that garden. And
They were
these
chaining the
guys
tires.
Yeah, these guys
Yeah.
were risking life and limb. They didn't. I guess you say they were nuts over those tires.
Now, is that what they were actually fighting about out in front of the barn?
Yeah,
was
it
the
is.
tires?
Yeah, that's it. He's a lot bigger than if he looks like at first.
Yeah,
You go
Yeah.
looking at him close.
right there. He's big.
He's as wide as that tree.
So, yeah, and he's behind it. He's farther
And
away.
he's quite a ways behind it. No neck really. Head looks like it's sitting right on top of the shoulders.
Those shoulders look big too.
Mm-hmm.
Big biceps and arms and
He could be running back there
anywhere he wanted.
for Texas.
Yeah. That's just crazy. That's and I think what's the icing on it for me is seeing you in that exact spot just to see how tall that
I'm
fence
gonna
was.
try to find it here.
Just to see how tall that fence is it really puts things in perspective.
Oh, okay, let me. Here, I used this fella. See that this picture was taken actually back then,
Mm-hmm.
and it was pretty clearer than the video. You see
Yeah.
how tall that fence is?
Right.
Yeah. Now, how tall of a guy is he?
He's 5'11".
And it's up to his shoulders. The white
Yeah.
line on his shirt, just a little bit above it.
So it's about a 5 foot fence, or give or
Pretty
take
close.
a couple inches. That most people are not stepping over a 5 foot fence.
Barbed wire. And you still got the rest of his torso above it.
Yeah.
So crotch height at the top.
Yeah, that's 10 foot.
That's some serious size.
Yes, it is. That's a track there. Some glyphs.
That's interesting.
They tore the deer feeder apart and made glyphs out of the poles.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what that is. It's a glyph, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that bodark tree that had the tires chained to it.
Yeah.
They tore it down and took the tires anyway. That's the tree before it got broke.
So that's what all the fuss was about, was those
Yeah,
4 tires.
it drove them nuts.
That's crazy. That's just.
I saw this tree right here. I saw it. It's still there with the trunk laying over. They put a tire up in the tree, and they tore the tree down to get to the tire.
Wow.
That's just
There it is.
crazy
There it is,
stuff.
right there. See him?
Yeah.
Little piece of hair, white hair on the fence. They didn't have any horses. All they had was cows. They were black cows. This is a futon that's in a shed. See that white hair?
Yep.
Yep. That was pretty clear.
Yeah, it was out in the woods hollering.
Sound like a small tree pushing down or something coming through.
See where I'm at here. I got to find the one with me in it.
Miss Diane was asking, were they eating the guineas or any of the chickens?
I don't think so. Well, wait a minute. I take that back. They went in that chicken house and got a chicken, and these sales were very sensitive about those chickens, and he went after them, and that sucker knocked him flat. I mean, just KO'd him.
Really?
There's another picture of the fence. See,
Yeah.
it goes all the way up to real high. Let me try to find me. Kind of a split. Here you can see. I tried my best to make them where people could make an honest evaluation, you know.
Right. Sure. I know the arms on that thing are inhumanly long. When it was reaching down to the ground like it was about to go on all fours, we got to bend over quite a ways to get. I mean, we got to be practically be on the ground.
There I am.
Yeah.
I lost that picture in that hard drive crash I was telling you about. Yeah, I'm heartbroken.
So you were standing right at the spot he crossed.
Yeah.
And that was
Can
about.
you show that again?
I should be able to come up with another one with where I'm just a silhouette, you know, semi-transparent.
Yeah.
Look at that big dude. Off in the distance. That's you'd be watching that thing.
Strides.
You watch it for 30, 40 minutes, and then this dude walks by. If you just look away for a second or two,
you don't see
you
it.
miss it.
Yeah.
Now this is on the sales property. That's what is that? A hand?
That's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I slowed that one down. It just came across real fast.
Was that a nighttime picture?
Where?
Of the hand.
I'm not sure. I think it was like early. You know, not enough light. It was still on night vision.
Yeah.
Here we are.
That's what it seemed like.
Let me see what else I'm getting into here. I've got. Oh, here I am, right here. I knew it was there. Look at that. And I should work my way on around here. Oh, wait a minute. There's his leg. There's my shoulder. See right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
When he straightens up, he's way up here.
Your crotch level, not to be, taken lightly, is 18 inches lower at least.
Yeah,
at least.
Well, like he's bent over in half basically right now, and he's as tall as you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stands up. He's double your height, or damn near double your height.
9 feet, 8.5, 9 feet at least.
That's why people have to take this seriously. They can't just blow it off.
Yeah.
You can't make things happen like that. That's clearly a large individual. He's big. He's not fat, but he's big.
Oh, yeah, and he's very agile. Yeah, that's one of the videos that I love seeing is when you're in the exact location, it literally puts things in perspective, and sometimes you got to do that for the perspective.
It was worth the trip. It really was, and she was super nice to me.
I mean, you got to see how high the barn door was when them two came crashing out of it too.
Right. The altercation videos, I appreciate them a lot more.
Right.
Look at that. People
Wow.
said it was a horse,
No way. That was a
but
horse.
they didn't have any horses.
Yeah, that wasn't a
Uh,
horse.
No, that's probably a big white one.
See,
It has a
there's a feeder they use. See how tall it is?
yeah.
They put candy bars and stuff in there, and they get them out.
Yeah, it looked like he brushed his hair with a pork chop. It was pretty greasy.
They didn't put they put a loaf of bread in one, and the thing took that loaf of bread and threw it a quarter mile. Looked like
Spread it all out.
he was expecting it to be a candy bar.
That looks like that thing's casting a shadow.
That's the croucher there. I took that video.
Yeah, the one down on the right hand side,
Yeah.
right above the numbers where it's counting down. You see it, Bobby?
Oh yeah.
Right there. He's wrapping up something. I don't know what it is, but you see, I'm looking straight down the creek. I didn't
Yeah.
see it. This is brightened up. This was all almost black.
Yeah, you can see
The
the
only
shadow
reason-
moving.
The only reason I saw it was got that white cloth, showed. I saw it moving. That's how dark it was. Look at that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that blends right in. That's just a part of the shadow.
You see the very edge of its leg. See it right there?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you hear anything? Smell anything? Any of those, questions
No,
people
it
normally
was
ask?
actually pretty loud.
Yeah.
The roaring of the creek
Yeah,
was pretty loud.
I got you.
You see him pretty good right there.
I saw two little dots. Yep, look at that.
There was another one there.
There's eyes.
because-
There's eyes right there, man.
Well, you talking about right there and right there?
Yeah, that's what that
I
looks
don't-
like. Eyes.
I don't know. It might be. I don't know.
Kinda
Like
what it
I
looks
said,
like.
I didn't see it at first. I saw it later on the video.
Yeah. It just kind of
That's
looks like eyes. It may not, but that's what it
very-
looks like.
Very
That's right.
frustrating. There's an altercation video. That's how tall. That's my picture I took, and there's me out there.
Yeah.
You got that altercation video handy?
I can get it.
Yeah, you can see MK with up to that fence.
See, it's wrapping something up in that towel.
Yeah, it did.
So strange.
And you were standing right there and didn't see any
I
of it.
was standing in the creek itself. I came down off the opposite bank.
How many feet away were you? 10, 15 feet at
Well,
best?
no, I was further than that right here, but eventually I walked within 10 feet of it. I went downstream a little ways. Just
And it
whistling.
was just so dark and shadowed, you just didn't see anything.
He backed into the brush.
Yeah.
He was completely gone. I walked right here.
Wow.
How big do you
There
think that
was
was, MK? It looks like a juvenile.
There's more than one there because one of them clacked two rocks together.
Yeah. We've heard rock clacking as well.
Oh, look at this. That's at the sales place. Okay. That's it. He's on all fours. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big son of a gun there because he's
He's
not.
way back there.
He's way past the cow, and he's
Yeah.
almost big as a cow.
Yeah, he's way back there.
There he is, and this is the full frame.
Yeah, and there you can really see how far back he is. He's moving pretty good.
And he goes down in this creek, and this creek is big. I mean, and he shows back up so fast it ain't even funny. I don't know how he pulled that off. I went down in there and stood and had my picture taken down in there.
Yeah, you can still see him over to the right of the screen. There he's gone now.
There's two cows running up on the left-hand side. I saw movement over there.
Yeah.
Like they came running up.
I stopped this thing too soon. If it runs a little more, you hear a vocalization.
Yeah, something spooked those two cows that ran up behind that other one. As it was all the way over to the right, two cows ran up on the left pretty quick.
Look at the size of this compared to this cow. See, look at it right there.
Yeah, and it's farther away.
Farther away. Let's go to the altercation here.
Now, while you're looking at this, MK, I'm gonna ask you a question. You've done a lot of research on videos and whatnot, and a lot of research out there on your own. Have you had any sightings, or what you think might have been Sasquatch?
I've had a sighting of something there in Louisiana, North Louisiana.
Yeah.
It was on all fours. It came across right in front of my truck at a really high rate of speed. The headlights lit him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't running my camera. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
That seems to be the way it goes. You go out there looking with your cameras and you see nothing.
There's the two guys fighting over here.
Yep. Shoving match.
You see, it's in a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I had to reverse the mirror to get the image to be correct. You see, it made this play thing up here on the backwards. And let me see if I got the tall paw. Here, without tall paw. I split it up. I probably should have left it all together. Maybe I did.
And those barn doors are open too.
Let's see here.
What it looks like.
Let me just type in tall paw here. Hold on. Look at that now. What you see is what people describe sometimes when they say that they see a Bigfoot kind of, cloak.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see that first the top half and then the bottom half becomes kind of milky clear. Watch him. See the legs kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Now look, he gets the top half the very top half is almost missing right here.
Yeah.
See, watch it suddenly come up. See?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
that's some of the strangeness about Bigfoot, that hadn't been explained, not
Yeah,
not not adequately.
right. We've experienced some strange stuff too.
It comes with the territory.
And that door, that barn door is open. Is that what that's what it appears to be, right?
I guess that it is. I don't know. This is
That's what
the
it looks
best I
like.
have.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was looking at. It. The guy that took whose camera it was explained it to me. Um, I was going to see if it would stay and just show him. I've got it in a GIF file, where I can stop frames.
Yeah.
He just stands there and looks out across at them tires.
Seems very
They're
lanky,
they're
tall.
fighting. They're fighting over the tires. That's what they're fighting about. If you can ever get some to show that kind of weakness, I believe you could exploit it like they did.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, Miss Sells told me that you see right there where it's kind of invisible.
Yeah.
Hmm.
She told me that this thing came from up in the over in Oklahoma. I don't know how she knew it. I didn't question her.
Hmm.
That
Now, now,
the
what
big
state were they in?
they're in North Texas, not too far from Oklahoma.
I got you.
They're along the Red River.
Okay.
Well, y'all are the first to see that,
Just creeping.
other than myself.
Yeah.
So there you go. I wanted to try to wait and get explanation from the guy's camera,
Yeah.
the camera operator, and I never did. So it just sat in my hard drive.
Right. You
It's
got
at a conference there in Texas.
lots of good stuff. Did you? That was cool. What was that?
That was a film taken by what's his name? I can't think of his name now.
The hoaxer guy. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
his tent.
right.
Uh,
The car guy,
Dyer, Rick Dyer.
Dyer.
Rick Dyer. Yeah,
Yeah, that was
Outside his tent, right? Is that what that one was?
allegedly he took that. It was outside of his tent, but you get caught hoaxing 2 or 3 times, and then nobody believes you, and it could have very
Yeah.
well been real, but nobody wants to believe you at that point.
Right.
I have no idea what that is, so I never got an explanation for it, so I didn't post it.
It was fast.
It was
Yeah.
fast, but it could have been just a person.
Same location.
This is a sales place, yeah.
Okay.
It could have been a person, but people don't typically move that fast in the woods.
Yeah. There's a giant.
That was
caterpillar.
pretty fast. Let's play it again. Oh, it's gone to another one. This must be a highlight reel. There he comes. I saw him. See him?
Yeah.
Jumps up in that tree. Right, look. Whoop.
Looks like there's a dog or something on the backside. Cat.
You did. You see why, yeah, I haven't posted nearly all that I have on
Yeah.
sales property. Yeah,
That
I
dog
saw
took
that.
off again. That dog
Dog
took
or
off
cat?
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I didn't get if it didn't self explain or I didn't get an explanation, I just held on to it
Yeah. It's kind of hard to um, present it without, you're
without some
doing
context.
right,
Yeah.
digging
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah, but some of that stuff's popping up and moving really fast through the woods, and most people are a little more cautious when they're going through the woods than that.
You can't hardly run that fast actually.
You can't
I,
hardly run that fast, especially in the woods.
yeah. I heard a wood knock, I thought.
Yeah. I thought I did too.
There it goes.
That's a different one. That's louder than what I thought I heard. There's a lot of movement. It's hard to focus on where to look because my eyes are jumping.
If you see where this looks like a barrel or something there,
Yeah. Yeah.
look keep look around there because I think it comes across that gap
I got you.
if I remember correctly.
It's going.
It's pretty windy and blustery that day.
Yeah. Where's this at, MK?
It sells property.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I think that fits the one I'm thinking about. I think I called it Whitey in the Spring. There he goes.
Yeah, see, he's got that same forward, hunched over walk as the one that hopped over the fence.
MK, did you ever do any? I think you did, right? You did some stabilization on the Freeman footage.
I did. I did.
Did it turn out good?
Yeah, it turned out to be quite enlightening actually. Hold on here just a second here.
I mean, that freedom footage was pretty good anyway.
Yeah, but there is I found some surprises in it.
Yeah.
One would be the little child,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one would be that suddenly this tremendous burst of light. It just flooded the whole frame, it overexposed it. Somebody's walking around close to the,
Hmm.
Yeah,
just sniffing the camera.
I can hear the sniffing.
I tried my best to get this one to show. That's his face, full face right there. I got his forehead. He had a real high forehead, and the hair was all on top, like Frankenstein or something.
Yeah.
Uh, but that's all I could tell, cause when you get that dark, it gets real snowy.
Yeah.
Then he gets mad at those tires. Hear him? He was throwing them around. Listen.
Yeah.
He runs off. You hear him running.
There's some fat footsteps running. Uh-oh.
He's mad.
Yeah. Could you play that sound back, MK?
Yeah.
Please? With some good vocalization.
I don't know what the little squeak was.
Right. It was loud, though. Definitely loud.
How did they figure out the tire thing? Was that just sheer happenstance that they?
Somebody threw some tires off a bridge, way off somewhere. It was way on the back of the place, and they noticed that something was moving them around at night. So they chained them all up just to piss them off.
It worked.
It worked. I think this is we know what that is. All right, let's go to the Freeman footage. Is that all right?
Yeah,
Yep.
sounds great. Coming up on 2 hours.
All right. Time flies when you're having fun.
It does. Time flies when you have a great guest, too. That's for sure.
All right. I appreciate that. Let's see. Child frame, sharpened child footage. Let me play this. There it is right there. That's the child. She's off in the distance with her back to the camera.
Mm-hmm.
See the
Yeah,
legs.
you can see the head pop up from over the shoulder.
Yeah, you see the legs dangle. I've got one better than that. Let me see. My most recent stuff. Baby pickup super stable. That's why he said, oh, there's two of them. Let's see. Filtered animation, crop with delay. Filtered animation. And I use this to make her. You see it disappear?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Almost seemed like it stepped in a big hole or something.
Watch.
Just blended in.
Yeah,
Sun.
it's
like the
that's
sun
what I
at
was
its
telling you.
back.
You got that hair. That hair is kind of
Right.
glassy. Ed. You get in behind them bushes and it just
Get
you know,
that
you
light
can't
refraction.
can't hardly pick it out. Let's see. Freeman clip in slow motion. Freeman film saturation 2 with delay on bicep. Let's see. Raw video footage. Let's see. got to figure out what I named it. Enhanced footage. Let's see. Filtered frames. Oh, that's not it. Sharpened child's footage. I already been there. Filter frames. Uh, Wait, let me see if it's got animation. Dangle deblurred. Let's look at that.
On the left-hand side. Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
I mean, it's smaller than everything else.
Yeah, it's got little skinny legs.
Yeah. Like mine.
Well, there's nothing wrong with skinny.
Right.
Oh, hold on.
Hello, I'm M.K.Davis.
Let me see if this is the one.
Enough to produce this visible
Yeah,
flash.
that's it. That
He
talks about the
almost inevitably-
flash.
And here,
Let's see what it's. You didn't see this flash until you used this filtration on it. Then you realize
there's the creature right here. And here's the limb. See the limb shake rather violently, and then this flash occurs. There's the creature. Then the flash occurs, and you can see that to make a flash, it requires energy. And energy almost inevitably produces heat. And heat produces convection. So air rushes upwards. So whatever it is that is energetic about this creature, enough to produce this visible flash, is creating enough convection upwards that a pulse of air flows in to the low pressure area. And that's just simple physics. And you watch what it does right here with this low hanging limb along the ground. The creature's nowhere near it, but watch it shake. That's the kind of thing that you have to look for. And some people may be thinking that's minutia. It's meaningless, but it's
Well, the puzzle's kind of meaningless until you put it all together.
Yeah, you see, it flashed. It just overexposed everything.
Yeah.
Just for a frame or two. And at that exact same moment, this limb goes.
so all the time that you spend filtering these images and all the time that you spend stabilizing these images is worth it if it tells you something.
Yeah.
And it certainly does.
Yeah. Well, you've done a lot of amazing work with all your research that you've done with the films, and I appreciate the time you've spent. I have a hard enough time focusing on what I'm going to do for dinner, let alone go through all the stuff that you've done through. You've got years, probably decades going into this. MK, it's going on 2 hours. Do you mind if anybody has any questions? Answering some questions if anybody.
Oh,
has
not a bit. Let me get off of the share screen, and then where I can be on the screen. Am I on the screen? Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go.
I think so. What's usually done unanimously in the past is people will put their questions in capitals. So everybody that showed up today, first off, thank you for showing up. It's really great to see everybody come out and support us and see MK. MK's got a year's worth of shows he could do. Um, uh, we'd love to have you back, MK. Especially if you got
Appreciate
some.
it. I'd love to come back.
Yeah. If anybody's got any questions for MK or anything that they've seen that they want to question or whatnot, just put them questions in capitals so we can see what are actual questions and whatnot. It allows us to see what's questions and what's just not random chat in the chat. But again, thanks for everybody stopping in and taking part in this. It's very, very cool to see you guys out here today, tonight, this evening. Anybody got anything? I know that earlier, I'll go back and see if I can see. I know that Hansi Adams was wondering, the one that was crouched alongside of the creek, what do you
Yeah.
suppose it was wrapping up? Any guesses?
I don't know, but that morning, when we first came across the creek further downstream, we came up with this thing floated up that I can only describe as a fetus. It had an umbilical cord and everything, and it floated up, and I picked it up and put it on a rock, and we took video of it, and Don Monroe picked it up and put it in a Ziploc bag, but it ruined in there and got really funky before we were down there
Yeah,
for several days without any refrigeration.
got a
Um,
little gamey, did it?
yeah, but I wished I had just cut it open to see what was in it. You know, um, because it came from the direction just upstream was that croucher. It was wrapping something up. It
Right.
was just upstream, so it floated from up that way. Let
When
me
do you?
let me go to. Hold on, go ahead.
I was just going to say, do you think that? I guess what it's going to take is admitting to the masses that Sasquatch is real. I mean, a lot of us here are knowers; we've seen them. Um, but do you think the Patterson Gimlin film will ever be irrelevant if they're recognized, or will it just be even that much more um, hype about it because now everybody's going to want to pay attention to it?
I don't know. I don't understand what makes people tick. Sometimes, to me,
Yeah,
I always thought that good evidence should lead you somewhere. But there are people who will just shrug their shoulders and next, they won't even have an opinion.
yeah,
It just gets blown off. I think the Patterson film has been done that way. Um, it's it's not that easy to blow it off anymore with the smorgasbord of stuff that come off of it.
yeah,
But it's amazing me how people can do that. You think that they would attribute more importance to the film.
yeah,
Here's let me go back to the share screen again just a minute.
absolutely.
All right, can you see me?
I can see you. Let me.
All right,
Let me.
here we go. There's the fetus.
I got you, Jim.
Okay, thank you.
M.K. found this in the stream next to the rocks on the shoreline. We're going to put this in a baggie and take it back for whatever reason. Who knows? That's possible. M.K. would suggest a human. I don't know. I have no idea. But the thing is, we're in an area now with all kind of abstracts, anomalies. Do we know? We do not know.
You want to put a rock in it, throw it?
Ken says, okay, yeah.
I'll come across and get it. It's a fetus, Ken. I don't know anything about fetuses.
Well, I'm not anything medical.
It doesn't have any limbs. It's too young to even have limbs.
It wouldn't be more than 6 weeks old in my estimation. I don't think
It's got an umbilical cord.
in the womb. It would be more than 6 inches long. 6 months long.
Can't tell really.
You're the most doctor guy along. You tell us about it.
Bring him here.
Dr. Ken?
Definitely interesting.
There you go, Don. Sure. I'll let him sit, but I'll take it to him.
Here's a filtered image of it. You can see it's got these little protuberances there.
Yeah.
Little. It must be a fetus.
Yeah.
But is it a fetus of a Sasquatch? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it could be
might be.
anything. You can't tell.
Yeah. But if I had cut it open, maybe I could have been able to see more about it.
I mean, it's
But
probably.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's probably safe to say this is your first and only fetus find while you're out in the field.
Well, it's my first one and my last one.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's not every day you find a fetus.
This was in 2008,
Yeah.
and
Well, see-
later that afternoon, I filmed the croucher.
Yeah. So I think eDNA would have been really helpful back right about that time.
Wow. Well, I'm still amazed at that, and I have a lot of regrets. You can't go back and redo it.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. I mean, like, I don't think eDNA was back in 2008, was it? It wasn't readily available anyway.
I don't know when it became available.
But that sure would have answered some questions. I guess with that, it could have been just regular DNA tests or, whatnot for it. You got a whole fetus. Well, MK, man, it has been a pleasure, a blast. I always learn and see something new when you're on. And myself, I'll speak for myself, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Well,
And
thank you. Same here.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, you've got so much stuff, and I've went through a lot of your YouTube, and a lot of that stuff is not on there.
right,
Right.
It's
You saw how much stuff I had that I have never posted.
yeah,
you'd have 40,000 hours of YouTube if you posted it all.
Well, I saw that it helps to have another pair of eyes. So when you saw the the guy running back right to left,
Mhm.
you immediately recognized that it was running way faster than it should have been able to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, see that having that as it's analytics helps. One pair of eyes is it's okay, but you really need more than one. I
you
mean,
know,
it's unbelievably helpful to
we,
have
we've
other
we've spent a
people.
lot of time in the woods, and you find something and you yell, "Hey, Jim, come here!" And they're trying to hurry over to you. They ain't moving like that. They
Right.
ain't moving anything
Yeah.
like that.
He
Yeah.
was getting it now.
And he
Yeah.
was getting it. You know, we humans tend to move fairly slow in the woods, even when we're trying to be in a hurry. I
You know,
guess
we're,
it's just
I tell
internally
you,
you feel the danger, and
if I ran that fast, even if I could, I would find myself flat on my face,
we all would.
Yeah.
We
eating,
all
Kind of
would.
thought.
That's why we don't try.
eating
Right.
leaves.
MK, man, it's been great. It's
Yeah, it
I
has.
hope we can do this again. Like I said, I've seen a lot of your stuff, and there's a lot that people that don't follow you are missing out on. So if do you have a YouTube or a channel that you would like to let everybody know where they can, see some of your stuff you'd like to
Yeah,
share?
Green
Facebook.
Wave, Green Wave, 2010 FB. It's an old football channel that the football team went away, and I decided to just move Bigfoot stuff over there, rather than just do away with the channel.
And what's it called again?
Green Wave,
Spell it for me.
2010. Green Wave, like the Green Wave of Tulane.
Okay.
GREEN
Gotcha.
WAVE. 2010 FB, which football, FB. And I have a WordPress site. It's the Davis Report .wordpress.com,
Okay.
and there's a lot of good stuff over there. It's some great stuff over there.
With all your with all of your stabilization and your images that you have cleared up, do you have those for purchase, or is that just something you don't do?
No, I don't do that. I don't have it monetized.
Gotcha.
When I first started with the Bigfoot stuff, some of it I was monetized, but I didn't do it myself. They just did it,
Yeah.
and then I got in trouble with them because I had a video with when my granddaughter passed away. I put a video with some music on it in her honor,
Yeah.
and they
Copyrighted you.
they demonetized me.
Oh,
They didn't
jeez.
take it down. They just demonetized me.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't ask for any money anyway.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
I'm happy with it like that. I don't get any money for anything I do with the Patterson film anyway. Uh, some of the stuff is mine. I had a video with two snakes fighting that had more than any of my Patterson film stuff did. It went almost to 1 million, and then they must have shadow banned it because it hadn't got another hit, no another view,
Yeah.
Wow.
not even one.
Jeez. That's crazy.
Well,
We don't
at
know. We
least
don't.
with your channel not being monetized, at least people can't say, "Oh, he's just doing this for money. He's just doing this trying to make a few bucks." Well,
Right.
you're not making anything for it. You're
No,
doing it
no,
because you believe in what you're doing.
it's mostly a cost thing, not a making money.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. This is a costly hobby. And none of us
I
are
can't tell
getting
you
rich
how
off of
much
this.
it costs to go over to the West Coast and then taking the time and you also take off work or something to do it.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Tally it all up, and you're in the hole pretty good.
You're in the hole. You're dead. Yeah. Well, everybody.
It's been worth it to me.
Yeah. Go check out MK's stuff. We put some of the the Green Wave 2010 FB in the chat. You need to see what this guy's doing. He's put a lot of work in, a lot of time, and really, honestly, because of the stuff I've seen, we haven't even scratched the surface of what MK's got in there. Um, so I just want to thank everybody for coming out for our first show, joining us. Really getting to know each other in the chat and being kind and polite. And we hope that y'all will come and follow us. Next week, we are going to try to have Mark Kenchel join us and his son because they've had some experiences. And so it'll be more of a father-son. They actually do things together. And Mark Kenchel was originally a part of the 168 that we had when it was with Kerry Arnold when we went out into here in Central Florida to do the 168 expedition for Bigfoot Odyssey. He had to leave early, but he's a super nice guy. And, nobody beats me to a place when we're set up to do something. I get there first. That's my thing. I'm there hours before everyone else. So
He ain't lying.
So when I got there, just to see that Mark Kenchel had already been there for like a day and a half, I knew Mark was a serious player and he had a passion for this. So I think next week we can have a couple good, great guests. Same time, 7 p.m. Eastern time on Bigfoot Forest Giants podcast. Bobby, man, I appreciate it. It's been fun. It's been a long time in the making.
Yeah, it's been interesting. And Diane did put an actual link to MK's YouTube channel in the chat. So
thank you, Diane.
Anybody looking for it can just go look in the chat, and there's an actual link to his channel there.
MK, we love you, man. We love everybody in the chat.
All right,
Bob,
thank you. I for sure appreciate you having me on.
you bet.
Yep, thank you. It was our pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us and checking us out. We hope that you guys find a warm place, safe place to meet some people and chat and hang out. And if you guys have an experience or you've had an encounter you want to come on, hit us up at Bigfoot bfforestgiants.com. Wait, bfforestgiants at
At
gmail.com.
gmail.com.
Yeah. It's basically BF for Bigfoot, forestgiants at gmail.com. And hit us up. Or if heck, you just want to ask some questions, chat. If you want to ask about Bobby's encounter, my encounter, most people seen my encounter. It was on the travel channels. These woods are haunted, so it's just been like overly played out there. But come back and see us. It was great seeing everybody. Diane, Cashew, thank you. You guys are the best for modding up for us. We hope to see all you guys again. Bob, you got any last things to say?
No, other than thanks, MK, for sharing your time with us. And you have amazing stuff, and we'd
Thank
love
you.
to have you back anytime you want.
Sure.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. And MK, thank you so much. You guys have a great night.
All right.